of those women who dare to innovate in fields where risk is high, where the timelines are more longer, but the impact is massive. We're going to listen, but we are also going to be interactive a bit today. So just a heads up, there will be also Slido and some ways we can interact both with speakers, measure the temperature in the room, and also answer and participate in some polls. So heads up for the evening, you might need your phones, so keep them close to you. But without further ado, we are starting strong with two women that are not only leaders in tech world, but are also community builders who have created space for others to thrive. Whether it's founding companies, launching programs, or pushing for systemic change, these women have been doing the work before deep tech even was a buzzword. So let's welcome on the stage Anna Andersson, CEO and chair of the board at Riga Tech Girls, co-founder and CEO at Start School, and Alisa Gorenko, co-creator at Riga Tech Girls, head of startup programs, as they dive into how women are driving deep tech innovation forward.
Is this on? Yeah. Thank you, Elvira. So wonderful to be here today.
Very exciting.
Yeah, thank you, Alisa. And thank you, Leah, Latvia Investment Development Agency, for organizing this whole deep tech event and having a special place for women in deep tech on the growth stage. Do you want to say a couple of words and then we go into the presentation?
I want to say thank you all for coming and being here today, and very excited to hear the stories of amazing ladies and gentlemen as well. Yeah, very exciting for the next 4 hours spent together. But without further ado, let's open the stage.
Yeah, let's start. I'll take the clicker. Okay. All right. So, does everyone in the room know who Riga Tech Girls are? Put up your hands if you know who Riga Tech Girls are.
Good.
Most of the people, but not completely everyone. So I'll just say a couple of words about that. So Riga Tech Girls is a community. We kicked off back in 2015. So this year we will be celebrating 10 years since we are operating. And this is our 10th year. We are a community that empowers and inspires women, but not just women. So in essence, we want to have more people building tech here in Latvia and internationally, more people who know digital skills and can use them in their daily lives, and all of that for better future for all of us. And if we look at why Riga Tech Girls is an organization that exists and maybe is necessary in our society, it's because in tech and also in deep tech and also in startups, women are still a minority. So if we look at the startup ecosystem, then in Latvia we have about 26% of startups owned by women. Which is a good number because internationally this number is about 20%. So these are the percentage of startups that have at least one woman founder or that are owned by women. And why we want to do what we are doing is we want to provide equal opportunities for everyone to see those women who are building deep tech and other startups and to go into startups themselves. So with Riga Tech Girls, we've been operating, as I mentioned, almost 10 years now. And the result or our experience can be summed up in these three numbers. So we've had different education programs online. And in those education programs, we've had more than 50,000 participants from Latvia and worldwide. We are doing professional training for women, mostly to transfer into jobs in tech. So this professional training, we have provided for more than 2,500 women who have then either decided to change their job or maybe build their own companies later. And with our startup programs, we've supported more than 600 teams. So these are kind of the three main things that we are working on at Riga Tech Girls over the years. Last year was a pretty busy one. So we can say we have summed it up in some numbers, and we estimated that the people in our education programs have learned more than 737 hours altogether. We've had in all of the programs combined in the last year more than 11,000 participants, and the total number of sessions that we created last year was 320, so almost a session a day. Last year our programs reached about 95 countries all over the world. People joined our programs from different places in the world. So to kind of sum it up and move into the next step of female founders and supporting startups, I will just mention what are the other things that Riga Tech Girls do and how have we reached those 95 countries. So we also do representation in different countries and in conferences talking about women empowerment, talking about digital skills development. We also do research. But most of our focus is on these three verticals. So number one, developing careers in tech. As I mentioned, more than 2,500 women have gone through that training. And we provide mentorship, we provide that training, we provide introductory lectures. And digital skills at large is another initiative that we have started a couple of years ago, and there is Pulse, the leader of digital skills training programs at Riga Tech Girls. So he's the leader of this vertical, and there we have had digital skills programs for school teachers, healthcare professionals, creative people, and an international program for NGOs. But today we are here to talk about deep tech and startups. So let's focus on the middle vertical. That is one of the three main verticals at Riga Tech Girls, and that is led by Alice. So Alice, I'll give floor to you to talk a little bit more about that.
Thank you, Anna. Yeah, startups are in the core, actually, of Riga Tech Girls since day one. And right now, we're doing quite a lot of things, but the main thing that we're doing, we're creating the safe space and building the community for female founders of like-minded people, a place where you can come and share your wins, your struggles sometimes, ask questions. And with this, we have quite many initiatives. We're having hackathons every year. We have pre-acceleration program, Female Founders Lunch initiative, and many more things. But I have a question. So how many of you have been a part of any of our programs that we developed? Awesome. Quite a good amount. Amazing. But yeah, let's talk about the community, because community is power, right? It's the support group, it's the shoulder. We started this initiative in 2022. And we had an event this week on Tuesday, and it was our 31st Female Founders Lunch. So throughout these years, we estimated that around 1,260 ladies joined the lunch, which is quite good number. So I hope it's going to be growing, thanks to you. This is one of our quite special events last December. We had an international speaker from France, a philosopher, really like powerhouse lady. Egi Yagailum is in the middle, another amazing, inspiring woman in our startup ecosystem. And you see happy lunch ladies in the background. We also create events with our investors, and you can see gentlemen are also invited to our female founder lunches. We are inclusive, it's all good. And we have, yeah, I mentioned already international speakers, and in the photo on the left, maybe you can see, I don't know, we have to zoom in. There is our very, very, very special friend and partner from Cameroon, Alice, and she's doing amazing things in her country. Another question, how many of you already are a part of the community on the WhatsApp group? Okay, if not, here's a QR code, you can scan it and join, and we'll approve you after this speech. So let's leave it for a second.
In the group, we share all kinds of useful links.
Thank
you
you,
can
Anna.
share your. I'm just adding.
Exactly.
You can share what you're working on if you're looking for a co-founder, if you're looking for anything, and you can meet. So you can meet other founders there, and you get. You're first to be notified about the upcoming female founders initiatives and events and lunches, of course.
Yeah, it's a very active group. Very nice place to be. But let's talk about numbers a little bit before we dive into serious topics today in the panels. So here are some statistics. We can see there on the right, it's statistics from 2019. I think the survey was made in 2018, most probably, but we can see diverse teams in all the startups established in Latvia was just 6%. And now, you can see here on the left, the upper part, this is a survey and report made by Startin.lv, which is Latvian Startup Association. The number has grown into 26.4%. We kind of hope that we are partially responsible for this growth because of our educational programs and initiatives that we're creating and the programs that we're developing. Thank you, Santa. Amazing. Community support. But let's talk about deep tech. Actually, ladies in Latvia are amazing. Let's start with that. And fun fact, it's a fact, but it's also a fun fact. It's the number, the upper part is survey and statistics from 2022. So Latvia has the highest proportion of female inventors, meaning that in the patents that they submitted in whole Europe. Next one is in the list is Portugal that has 26 point something percent, but actually that's a number that we can be really proud of. And the main sectors are chemtech and of course biotechnology and pharma, and that exceeds 30%. But mechanical engineering is the thing where I think we have to work with our educational institutions and get ladies more excited into that field. So basically, Latvia is quite a good place for deep tech startups in Europe. And again, the data shows that deep tech ecosystem has grown quite a lot, 360%. It's a lot. I think it's because of the funding, available funding from European institutions as well. And numbers are really good. But the thing is, less than 25% of startups have at least one female shareholder in deep tech sector, in the founding teams, and the funding that those teams are getting is even smaller. It's just 11.4%. So there is a lot of room for improvement, and we don't have a real statistics about how many deep tech startups do we have in Latvia. The number is fluctuating, and it's very hard to count. But I did count by myself, and I counted around 288 deep tech startups in Latvian ecosystem, and just 13.19% have at least one female shareholder. So once again, we have room for improvement because we're #1 in female scientists in Europe. We have to monetize this knowledge, right? Here are some stats about how many deep tech startups are established last in 2020, till 22nd year. We see that France is quite ahead, and Latvia, because we're a small country, is somewhere lacking behind. So there's room for improvement. And here you can see how many women startups are in the map in the Europe. So again, we have room for improvement because we have those scientists, we have those powerful ladies. We just need to come together and I think support each other. But on the upper part, we can see how many female founders are in the region. So we're not counted at Eastern Europe, but Northern Europe. A number is growing every year, so I think it's very good trend and something to look into. And now, let's talk about women in science.
Yeah, just a couple of words to shout out to all the women in science, and huge thanks to everyone doing that as well. So if we look at the data of how women in STEM fields have developed since 1960s, we can see a growing path all the time, and the largest number of women in STEM are in biology, so that's the yellow line. Computer and maths is the gray one. Scientists, chemists is the I don't know, Berber, no. Anyways, the dark one and the red one is engineers. Burgundy, yeah. So engineers, we have the lowest participation of women, but in biology, highest. And this is European numbers. If we look at women involvement in EU in general, 2019, we had about 41% of all scientists women out of 15 million scientists all over Europe. But then in 2022, there are still the same 41% of women, and but the number of scientists has grown to 17.8 million. So science is becoming an increasingly interesting career choice and developing fast for both men and women. Here, just for fun, how it has changed and developed. So actually, Latvia historically has been quite good in the gender balance regarding science and women involvement. So if we look here, we are in the dark one, so more than 50% of all scientists and engineers are women. Here, we already have more than 60% in 2020. In 2021, as well, Latvia representing more than 60% of all scientists and all of people in science and technology are women. And in 2023, as well, here it says more than 58, but probably more than 60. And if we look at OECD, Latvia is doing great as well. We are actually #1 among countries where women are represented as researchers. We have 50.7% of all researchers women, and that is better than all other OECD countries. So we have very, very good possibilities to build deep tech startups here in Latvia, and also for women to be involved in deep tech startups. Obviously, role of education is very important. Universities represent the key structure behind fostering deep tech startups and innovation. Here, just as the most important and scientifically involved universities of Latvia. And obviously we need to have new approaches to education. So there are other initiatives developing, and not just universities, but also technical education programs. And being a little bit biased, I will present one new opportunity. So this is from Start School. Start School is now, since yesterday, offering 5 new tech programs that are very connected to data science and AI. So Start School's mission being to create more tech startups here in Latvia, now also moving more in and having more useful education for deep tech development. So the tech programs come from Silicon Valley. It's a program by Quasar, and the new education programs that are just launched are Agentic AI development, AI applications development, AI and machine learning engineer curriculum, data science engineer curriculum, and DevOps and cloud engineer curriculum. So all of these are currently open for applications. There will be 30 fully funded scholarships for the next year for these programs. That's all from that. And I will quickly go into what can you expect today from this stage, what we will be talking about. So we'll kick off with supercomputers are everywhere by our amazing colleague Liina-Marta Särmä, who is currently involved with the High Performance Computing Center at RTU. She's coming up next, right after us. We'll talk about women in deep tech. We'll have a discussion with amazing speakers. Led by Anda Asere and Anna Ramatastunda, Solvit Kostikova, and Yekaterina Romanova being here present on the stage with international experience. Girls in Science, we want to show the IT girl here. So Ilyana Kovri will share her experience. Yeah. Women in AI, so this is definitely one of the fastest growing fields, and women are active there. Discussion led by Elina Lidere and Agate Ambolte. I think one of the AI education pioneers in Latvia will be here. Christian Gramtin and Laura Lokman, founders and entrepreneurs in the field. Women in defense and cybersecurity, since this is one of the topics that is very hot for this time in our region, over the world. We also want to just talk about that and stress that. We'll have amazing speakers and looking forward to hear that discussion, to hear what's happening. And finally, tech in education, how tech shapes future STEM leaders. So we'll have a discussion led by Anda Priedīte, we'll have Linda Daniela, Dana Narvaiš, and Elchin Jafarov joining on the stage. And then we'll close it up at 5 o'clock. I want to thank our team, Riga Tech Girls team, for making it possible to put all of this program together and building the community. Everyone who is here, thank you. And everyone who is listening online, thank you. That's all from our side. We'll move to the speakers. Thank you.